Well, guys, the Marvel Studios She-Hulk Attorney Law Disney Plus series is now officially come to an end with episode 9 on Disney Plus. Sorry, I'm getting this video out to you late, guys. I just have not been feeling it. You could probably tell from my voice that it's not that normal, to say the least. And actually, to follow up after one of your comments on one of my videos a couple days ago, no, I'm not going through puberty. That was like 6 years ago. I'm just sick. But we're still here. We're still going to talk about She-Hulk because this is the finale. This is the big, epic conclusion. And it definitely went out in a way that I don't think anyone was expecting. So, yeah, we're not even going to waste any time here. Spoiler warning, if you haven't seen it yet, make sure to go check it out on Disney Plus. Again, this video's late, so hopefully you've seen it at this point. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about Marvel Studios She-Hulk Episode 9, titled Whose Show Is This? So we start off the episode in a really interesting way with, it's supposed to be an homage to the 1970s Incredible Hulk show, which I think is pretty cool. I've never seen the show myself. I've seen like parts of episodes. I'd like to watch it sometime. I think it looks pretty cool. Obviously, it's a little cheesy because it was the 70s. But still, I think it's really cool, and I love how they do this homage to that here with the Savage She-Hulk. So it's almost kind of like a monster movie trailer type thing here. I love how they use a practical version of She-Hulk here as well, which I believe they actually had the actual stand-in actors, because if you don't know, obviously Tatiana Maslany, she's not that tall, so they've had like a 6-7 foot actress being a stand-in to be She-Hulk. Like, she's been painted green, so I like that they actually used her in this scene. Now, is it kind of random and doesn't really serve a purpose to the rest of the episode? Yeah, kinda, but it is still a cool little addition, I guess. But I was surprised to see, though, that after this ended, when we opened up back on, actual reality, Jen is now in a prison cell at the Department of Damage Control, or at the Cube. We're not exactly sure the exact location, but I believe it's the Cube. But either way, it's insane that She-Hulk is in a prison cell. She actually ends up accepting a plea deal where now she must wear an ankle monitor. So basically, she can't be She-Hulk anymore. Same deal that Emil Blonsky took as Abomination. He can't be Abomination anymore. She ends up getting fired from GLK&H because that was kind of the whole reason they hired her, is just because, oh, we want a Hulk lawyer. That'd be pretty cool. And then she loses her apartment. So she ends up moving back in with her parents. And her life is just completely falling apart. And this is another thing that, like, I'm always talking about how I wish the runtime was longer on these shows, but especially with this, because this is such a huge moment in Jen's life, and it was just rushed by in, like, less than 5 minutes that literally her whole life is falling apart. But anyway, like I said, she moves back in with her parents. She and Nikki are trying to investigate the Intelligencia, try and figure out who's behind it, how they can take them down. Nikki actually ends up making a post on Intelligencia and then gets invited to this private event that the Intelligencia is hosting. So that's pretty cool. It turns out this event is actually at Emil Blonsky's resort, which we'll talk about more in a second. So Jen goes to Emil's resort just because, she needs to get away from everything. She needs to relax. So Nikki sends Pug in undercover. He runs into Todd, as we were all expecting. Todd, he is revealed as the Hulk King. Everybody saw that coming. And then, all of a sudden, the Abomination shows up. Now, not only is it Emil Blonsky, but he's actually in Abomination form, which violates the plea deal agreement that he made. So he's breaking the law right there. And so when he first walked out, I kind of assumed like, oh, okay, so Abomination was really a villain this whole time. He's not actually redeemed, and now he's walking in as a member of the Intelligencia. He's the special guest speaker. Come to find out, no, that's not the case at all. He actually is redeemed, which we'll talk about more later as well. He just showed up just because he was invited here. He's just trying to get some money. So, okay. I mean, yeah, obviously that's pretty interesting right there. But then this is where things really take a turn. Because then Jen bursts in. She sees the whole chaos that's going on here. Intelligencia, Pug and Nikki, Abomination. Then Todd, being the Hulk King, he injects himself with her blood. He becomes Hulk Todd, which just was disturbing to look at. And then Titania bursts in, then Bruce Banner Hulk bursts in, and this is where we get that little bit of a fight scene between Abomination and Bruce Banner Hulk, which is something we've been waiting since 2008 to see their rematch. We saw that in a little bit of a preview trailer for this week, so we were all excited to see that rematch, and then it doesn't happen, because with all this chaos happening, Jen is like, wait, hold on a second, let's pause this, and she goes full meta, like as meta as you can get here. She not only breaks the fourth wall, but literally breaks Disney Plus. So she just is not happy with what's going on here. To be fair, it is pretty sloppy writing, and now the writers are going to fix that by fixing She-Hulk into fixing their writing for them, which is really weird to talk about, but it's super confusing, but it happened. So we do have She-Hulk shut down the episode, and I remember when I was first watching this, I was confused. Like, wait, what did I hit? What did I hit a wrong button? Like, why did it take me out of Disney Plus, or why did it take me out of the episode? Because then it was back on the Marvel Studios page of Disney Plus, and then all of a sudden She-Hulk pops out of her own show. She jumps into the assembled episode of She-Hulk, and jumps into the real world, goes to the real Walt Disney Studios, real Marvel Studios lot, and goes to talk to the real-life writers of this show. So we do get a cool cameo from Jessica Gao there. Turns out, actually, the two writers in this scene that were doing all the talking were actually just actors playing writers. So that is kind of unfortunate. It would have been awesome if She-Hulk was actually talking directly to Jessica Gao, the head writer of the show. But anyway, they reveal to her that basically the reason that this is happening the way it is in the show is because this is the story that Kevin wants. So, She-Hulk goes to talk to Kevin Feige, of course. So, she signs an NDA, we get some cool meta jokes here and there, all throughout this bit, and she meets Kevin. The acronym, which I don't even remember what it stands for, but Kevin Feige as a robot. Now, it is really disappointing that it wasn't actually Kevin Feige. I mean, maybe he's like self-conscious about his acting ability, but honestly, I don't care. Get actual Kevin Feige in here. It would have been nice if he like at least voiced the robot. But I did like at least that like the robot, it looks like, was wearing a hat, you know, just like Kevin Feige does in real life. So it is literally Kevin Feige, but as a robot. So we got Kevin here. He is the one behind all the big decisions at Marvel Studios. He and Jen then, of course, have this great conversation. Again, there's some amazing meta jokes here. Like, for example, just first off, how Kevin actually asks her to revert back to Jen form because it's too expensive and out of their budget to have her in She-Hulk form for this part. So that was hilarious. Also, the fact that, like, oh, all Marvel movies are the same. It's the same plot and all this stuff, which... yeah, actually, I was just talking to one of my friends last night about, he's kind of fallen off of Marvel movies and isn't really into them anymore, and has just said because, like, they feel like they're all the same now. So I love how they bring that up, and then, of course, Jen even mentions that, oh yeah, when are the X-Men coming? Which is, of course, the question we're all asking ourselves as well, and, of course, we don't get an answer, but it was still a funny little mention. Also, the fact that, you know, She-Hulk, we're Hulks, we smash things. Bruce... Hulk, he smashes buildings. Me, I smash the fourth wall. And sometimes Matt Murdock. That was a hilarious line right there. I love that. And so basically, Jen, just like she does in the comics with breaking through the page and rewriting her own comics, she rewrites this episode and makes some changes. So when we get back in the episode, there's a lot of changes. Basically, everything that was set up there is just wrapped up really nicely here. Like, for example, Todd is now automatically arrested. Blonsky is going back to prison. He is, like I said, officially redeemed, but he has to go back to prison because he broke his plea deal agreement. Daredevil even shows up, which was amazing. Not at all something I was expecting, but sure, I'll take some more Charlie Cox, and we'll talk about him more in a second when we get to the family barbecue, but I love those two together. Jen and Matt, they're fantastic. But this whole rewriting of the episode, again, it was cool because of the whole fourth wall breaking meta thing, and just for this being so different from anything else Marvel's done. But also, it does kind of feel like then all of this was a waste. I mean, like I said, we were all looking forward to that rematch with the Hulk and Abomination. That never ended up happening. Sure, the whole Hulk Todd thing was weird, but for it to be set up all season long, he's the main villain. He gets this big reveal in this episode, and then he's just automatically arrested, and like none of this is really wrapped up. I mean, it's just wrapped up too nicely, and we don't really get a satisfying conclusion here. at least in my opinion. But anyway, after this brings us to our family barbecue. We got Jen, we got her whole family there, we got Nikki and Pug. We also have Matt Murdock as well, so he's going to be staying the week in LA. So I just love that again. I love Matt and Jen together as a couple. I think they're an amazing couple. I love those two together. So fingers crossed we can get some She-Hulk in Daredevil board again, because that would be amazing. Sure, it'd be a long distance relationship, but they can make it work, hopefully. But then things get crazy when the Hulk shows up. So Bruce Banner, he finally makes his return. Smart Hulk, he's back. And he brought a guest. So just as we all assumed and theorized about what he was doing on his time on Skaar, the Hulk has a son. So we get introduced to Skaar. What the hell happened to this guy? I mean, what did they do to his design? He's definitely not a pretty looking guy in the comics either. But what, I don't think anyone is happy with this redesign. What happened with his hair? In the comics, he just has, regular, long, dark hair. In this, it's, bald in the front, ponytail party in the back. I don't even know how to describe it. It's who thought this was a good idea? Why wouldn't they just give him the hair he has in the comics? That would have been so much easier and would have just looked so much cooler. And then the fact that that's it. Literally, he just walks in frame, and then that's the end of it. We don't get to hear him talk. We don't get any explanation here as to who the mother is, how Bruce found out about this, anything. We did get the mention with Kevin earlier when he was talking with She-Hulk about we'll just explain it in the next movie or something like that, which we're theorizing is World War Hulk, so that'll be pretty cool. But I feel like it was just a weird introduction for the character. Now I do want to actually mention that the actor that plays Skaar in the scene is Will Deisner, who actually played Joey Zarek on Stargirl season 1. So I thought that was pretty cool. First of all, there's an actor that I recognize, but the fact that it's specifically that guy, to go from playing a nerdy guy with glasses who is into magic tricks and card tricks and all that stuff, who actually got ran over by a bus in that season, really tragic character, to now playing the Hulk's son. I thought that was just absolutely hilarious, that fact right there. So I'm excited to see more of his character in the future. And a lot of people are theorizing, and I kind of go along with this theory, that he may be retconned as kind of the Skaar/Hulkling character, because we know they're setting up Young Avengers, but Skaar isn't usually a member of the Young Avengers in the comics. It's Hulkling, who is the Hulk of the team, but Hulkling in the comics actually has no actual ties to the Hulk himself. He's actually part Skrull, part Kree. So I feel like Kevin Feige, keeping things simple, might just explain it as, nah, he's just the Hulk's son, and then they'll still have him be part of the Young Avengers. That's what I'm assuming they're going to do. Then again, I don't know for sure. And then after this, kind of our final scene here with She-Hulk is Jen going into court. She's just going off to do another case. She's back being a lawyer again, and she basically accepts the fact that she's now both a lawyer and a superhero at the same time. So we get this nice little satisfying conclusion right here. Of course, we do have a post-credit scene here, which was pretty cool. We get the return of Wongers, of course. Really sad and disappointed we didn't get to see Madison back here as well, but we do get to see Wongers, and he breaks Emil out of prison and takes him to Comertage. Now, I don't know if or how this is setting up anything, if this means we're going to see Abomination / Emil in Doctor Strange 3, or what's going on there, but there is the mention of Emil's what took you so long, and something about Wong must have gotten caught up in another show, which we haven't heard anything about him being in another Disney Plus show, but with this ragtag crew he's assembling here, I would love to see a Wong Disney Plus series, or honestly even just a Marvel Studios special presentation, because you got quite a crew here. You got Wong, aka Wongers, you got Rantra and America Chavez from Multiverse Madness, now you got Madison and Emil Blonsky, aka the Abomination. What a crew right there. Get a little Doctor Strange cameo in there. That could be the best Disney Plus series ever. But other than that, that is it. That is the conclusion to Marvel Studios She-Hulk Attorney at Law. There's definitely been some strong points to the show and definitely some weak points as well. Strong points, specifically, I'm looking at you. Episode 8, Daredevil, Leapfrog, amazing. Also, the first couple episodes were pretty good, especially that first one. Then there were kind of like episode 5 and 6, which were pretty meh. But overall, I didn't hate the show. I know there's a lot of haters out there of the show, and I love how this show actually directly addresses those haters and the anti-feminists and just all those nasty people out there. I love how it directly addresses those people. And I understand that this show is not for everyone. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I do really hope that we end up getting a season 2, and I feel like we will. You know, we know that she's going to be coming to the movies pretty much all but confirmed for Avengers, Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars. There's rumors she along with Hulk may appear in Captain America New World Order. We know the leader is coming back for that. Plus there's that whole rumor of a World War Hulk movie. Maybe it even is Captain America New World Order is a World War Hulk movie. We don't even know for sure, but I'm definitely excited to see more She-Hulk in the future. Again, I do hope we get a season 2. How I would rank She-Hulk with the other Disney Plus shows, I don't know, it's hard because like everybody has like certain shows that they just like absolutely hate on. Me personally, I like them all, so it's kind of hard for me to rank them, but She-Hulk would be towards the bottom for sure. But again, that does not by any means say that I hated the show. I still enjoyed it. I still liked it. Just, I prefer most of the other stuff that we've been getting lately. So anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think about the She-Hulk Season 1 finale? And what did you think about the whole season overall? Do you want to see a Season 2? Where do you want to see all these plot threads go in the future? Let me know down in the comments below. And of course, our next Disney Plus series is Not Until Secret Invasion. That'll be next year, so we got a bit of a break. But anyways, guys, for now, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I can keep it up to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.